As scheduled.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
For all.
If the clerk could take the roll, please.
Commissioner Look.
Here.
Commissioner Brastad.
Here.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Here.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Here.
Commissioner West.
Here.
Commissioner Gamache.
Here.
Commissioner Schulte.
Here.
First item is tax claims and abatements. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Look. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Brastad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is the review of checks issued from Finance and Central Services and from Human Services. There's their motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner West, second by Commissioner Schulte. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Then we have the approval of our minutes from our August 9th County Board meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Look, second by Commissioner Schulte. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Then we'll move on to Chair's remarks. We have one item under Chair's remarks today, and it's a look forward to our annual charitable campaign. Our staff make an impact on the lives of citizens each and every day, but this campaign and the thousands of dollars that it raises just shows how much our staff really care about the people that they serve within our communities in helping them to be successful. Our campaign co-chairs this year are Corey Hins from our Parks Department and Aaron Hansen from our Economic Assistance Department. Welcome.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Corey Hins, Recreation Services Manager for the Anoka County Parks and Recreation Department.
I'm Erin Hansen from Economic Assistance. Good morning.
And we're here to present just a summary of the overall the timeline for this year's We Give charitable campaign. We're just starting off. We have a dynamic group of Anoka County employees working on this committee. Bobby Kohler, Laura from Employee Relations, Lori from Employee Relations, Director Veteran Services John Kriesel, Jerry Hennick, and Mike Roth. And Aaron and I are the co-chairs.
The charitable campaign drive is running this year from September 19th through October 7th, and we're supporting the Greater Twin Cities United Way again, as well as Community Shares of Minnesota and any Minnesota 501c3 nonprofit.
Our overall goal this year is to increase employee engagement. Last year, during the campaign, 354 employees donated over $87,000 in the drive. This year, Aaron and I are wanting to increase the department events and in creating more online more payroll deduction.
Increasing the payroll deduction donations.
Yes.
So we have 3 events planned for this year. The first one's September 20th. It's going to be the hot dog event. It'll be grilled. It'll be in the atrium. The second event, is the pizza event, and that's October 5th. I'll go back. The week of September 26th through 30th, departments will be encouraged to plan their own events and, have some fun and get involved, become engaged in this. And then October 6th, we are doing the Pie in the Face event in the atrium. It's going to be a little different this year. We're changing it up. What we want to do is invite all of you to volunteer if you're interested. It's not going to be vote for a specific person to get a pie in the face. We wanted to make it more fun and just get people engaged into the activity. So we're asking, commissioners, department heads, directors, managers to volunteer to get a pie in the face. And if we meet, certain goals of, number of employees who sign up for the automatic payroll deduction. If we meet our goal, then just everyone would get one in the face for fun. So we'll probably be reaching out to you for that.
But we have Mike Roth has generously volunteered again. I know that John Creasel has volunteered, so we're hoping to surpass our 285 goal. And then we'd like to open it up for any questions from the committee.
Anyone have any questions or comments?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner?
I would just like to thank you both for stepping up to do this. It'll be a great chunk of your time, but well worth it. I mean, raising these funds for people that need it within the community it's a great program. And I know most of the employees that get involved with this feel very rewarded in the end, and I'm sure you will as well. But thanks again for stepping up, and look forward to working with you in the next couple of months to see what happens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner West?
If you're looking for prizes for this, I would be willing to donate some homemade pies. So
Thank you.
get with me and let me know what you need.
Sounds great.
Commissioner Gamache?
I'd be willing to take a pie in the face, so you can put me down, and I'd be happy to help out. I know that having this type of fundraising in the United Way and some of the other things, and I was glad to see that we're doing that. Any of the 501c3 nonprofits are a part of that, and I'm assuming that allows the employees to make a choice when they're filling out their forms. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it would include some foundations like an Okahennepin school district foundations and things like that. I believe that's part of that, because I know that we do that at General Mills, where you could actually give to a school foundation.
And we'll be providing a link on the form.
Great.
That'll bring you to a list.
Great, because I know that some people over the past have not wanted to give to certain things within United Way, but this offers another opportunity for them to give, so I think it's a great idea. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Kordiak?
Madam Chair, can I clarify with the two of you, was your goal to raise the number of people that participate, the amount of money that people that already participate might donate? We have 2,000 employees. I didn't see a 2,000 person number listed. Can you comment on that?
It'd be both. Get the employees to be more engaged in, all the events, but also, increasing the amount of donations would be nice too.
Right.
Well, and Jerry and I had the opportunity to have the pie in the face last year. I was obviously running a little different, and I was the big winner. So would encourage any of you to participate as well. I think it was a great way to get people engaged and to raise money for a good cause. And like I said, Jerry, there were literally people that were throwing money from the second floor down to first floor just to be able to get Jerry to also participate in that. So it was definitely a fun event and for a great cause. So appreciate folks being good sports. Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Now we'll move on to committee reports. Transportation Committee Chair Report, Commissioner Schulte.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have 3 items for action today. As the chair of the committee, I recommend approval of amendment number 1 to a contract with Bolton and Menk due to changes in scope of the original project, which is the Trunk Highway 10 non-motorized crossing improvements between Thurston Avenue and West Main Street in the city of Anoka, and to further authorize the chair of the county board and the county administrator to execute said amendment, subject to review by the county attorney as to form and legality. I'll remind you, this is the pedestrian safety program out on Highway 10 between Fair Oak and Thurston, and Bolton and Menk is our contractor there.
I'll move it.
Been moved, is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion?
Madam Chair, I'll just say that this is brought on due to scope changes by MnDOT. Really, MnDOT came in and added quite a bit to the scope of the project, and for that reason, Bolton and Menk has to do quite a bit more work, and this remunerates them accordingly.
Okay. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
Secondly, as the chair of the committee, I recommend approval to enter into a contract with Souter and Sons for building demolition services in an amount not to exceed $27,500. Execution of this agreement is subject to review by the county attorney as to form and legality.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
And Madam Chair, I'll just follow up on that one just for a second to say that this is a former gas station in Coon Rapids on the Foley Boulevard project. That'll be removed as part of this contract. And next item is item 3. As the chair of the committee, I recommend to award a contract to Park Construction Company based on their low bid of $1,267,757.66 for the intersection improvement project at the intersection of Viking Boulevard and Lake George Boulevard in the city of Oak Grove. This is one of those few county roads where people actually probably know the numbers better than the names, so I will say it's County Road 22 and County Road 9.
I will move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Just a quick congratulations on this one. Looking at all the bid prices came in really, really great. And I was just wondering, is it because it's the end of the year and business is down for some of the contractors, or because everything is below the engineer's estimate?
Doug?
Madam Chair, Commissioner Gamache, County Board members, my name is Doug Fisher. I'm the Transportation Division Manager and County Engineer. Yeah, we're very pleased with the bids. Could be a combination of things. I think one of the things are that we put together a quality set of plans too. They're very clear. People, I think Anoka County has a reputation with the construction industry on how we do our work and interact with our contractors. So, and I think we did get a little lucky with the timing. Sometimes late year construction, you never know what you're going to get. But and this is has a little grading, a little utility, a little concrete, a little signal, a little bit of everything. It is still a fast track project. We are expecting all the road work to be done before freeze up. Some of the signal poles and mast arms may be delayed in getting up, but everything should be up and ready for those to be installed later this year. So we're very happy with the bids for whatever reason, and we're ready to move forward with this one.
Great.
Commissioner Look?
Madam Chair, thank you. This has been a point of conversation in the community as I'm out and about campaigning. A lot of people are excited for this, and rightfully so. It's a very congested intersection. There's been, with the construction of roundabouts in Francis, there's been talk of why isn't this a roundabout, or why aren't the roundabouts signals, and so forth. And so I wonder, Doug, if you could comment as to the process we go through when we evaluate these intersections for why certain methods are chosen over others, stoplights versus roundabouts, for example.
Doug?
Madam Chair, Commissioner Look, that's a great question. What we do now when we're looking at intersection type projects like this, we do what's called an ICE report, a intersection control evaluation report, and we do look at whether or not it should be a roundabout or if it should be a signalized intersection. And everything from traffic speeds to traffic volumes, the percent of traffic volumes on one route compared to the other route, where it's located, what's it situated next to, is it just a whole series of factors that go into it. And we did that analysis, and we did review it for roundabout, but in this particular case, traffic signal was the prevailing recommendation from that report. And also, one of those other factors are community input, just our own experience with both roundabouts and with signalized intersections. And again, we're confident that this is the right solution for the right problems that we have out there. So we do scrub these things down, and we don't go in with any real preconceived idea of what it should be, but you're right when you say we do have a very significant congestion problem out here, and we're excited to get this thing done and solve that problem. And this will solve that problem.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Schulte, I appreciate the 22 thing. I get it. I still haven't gotten over the 242 thing. Give me time.
Great. Commissioner,
I'd just like to ask Doug a question. When you do intersections like this, will they automatically have that flashing yellow?
Doug.
Madam Chair, Commissioner West, we do equip the signal to operate in the flashing yellow arrow mode. Again, even when it's on during peak hours, it may still be in the full protective, permissive mode during the peak volumes. When we go to the flashing yellow arrow, it's generally in the non-peak hours when we don't want to hold back, when there's plenty of gaps in traffic for somebody to make that left turn. So if you drive through this, like most people do during the morning or afternoon peak hours, you may say it doesn't have flashing yellow arrow, but it will, and you'll see the 5 section heads up there that have all the ability to do that. So it's really for that non-peak, but this will be equipped with the new flashing yellow arrow operations.
Good.
Okay. All right, great discussion. Roll call vote.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye. Motion carries.
Madam Chair, that concludes my chair's report.
Thank you, Commissioner Schulte. Now we'll move on to Finance and Capital Improvements Committee report. Commissioner Look.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Finance and Capital Improvements Committee was held on August 16th, and we did not come away with any action items. However, there are 3 informational items there for your review. The third being, I think, the one I want to zero in on just for a few minutes here. The third is the second quarter investment report for 2016, and this is something that Corey is bringing forward to us now and allowing us to evaluate how investments are occurring. We have good return on our investments at this point. I think somewhere in the neighborhood of $2 million some are coming back in terms of return interest, and that goes towards the general fund, which of course offsets taxes. So that's a positive thing. There is some confusion, I think, out there about reserves, which is what we're investing here, in that reserves is being spent down. That is not true. It is completely false. The reserves are intact. They're intact for a specific reason, because our credit rating would be impacted if we did touch our reserves. And so the reserves are intact, and what we're doing is we're actually adding to our reserves. So everything is in great shape, and just wanted to pass it on to the board that Corey's doing a fantastic job, and we are able to evaluate this on a quarterly basis. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Look. Now we'll move on to Human Services Committee report. We have a couple of items on the consent agenda. Unless someone wants to pull something out separately on that, I will move approval. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, a roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad,
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak,
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja,
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Motion carries. Under Behavioral Health, the first item is to consider recommending the county board apply for and accept funding from the Minnesota Department of Human Services Adult and Children's Mental Health Division to provide adult and children crisis response services and adult mental health initiative services for Anoka County for calendar year 2017. And the next item is to consider recommending the county board provide a written statement of support with rationale to the Minnesota Department of Human Services regarding licensure of a women's residential chemical dependency treatment program to be operated by North Star Behavioral Health in Cranberry Acres in Linwood Township. Is there a motion to approve items 2 and 3?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
just for everybody's edification, just that Linwood Township is fully aware of this. and in support of it, so it's no surprise to their township.
Right, thank you. And roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Commissioner Look?
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad?
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak?
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Aye.
Commissioner West?
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache?
Aye.
Motion carries. And then the final item is Resolution 2016 HS14, the economic assistance bills and payments. And I'll offer that resolution. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Look?
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad?
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak?
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Aye.
Commissioner West?
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache?
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Motion carries. And that concludes my report. Now we'll move on to Information Technology Committee report. Commissioner Gamache.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had one action item on the agenda at the last meeting, and that's to consider recommending the county board approve the joint powers agreement, contract C0003698 with the Minnesota Counties Computer Cooperative, MCCC. This has been since October of 2000, the county entered into this joint powers agreement with MCCC. What it does is an administrative cooperative agency that offers software solutions to a consortium of Minnesota counties. Since 2000, we have taken advantage of being a part of this group with a couple of different software programs that the county still uses. The Juvenile Adult Inmate Management System, the Community Health Services user group that they have, and so we have been involved with a couple of different things that this has offered to us. So it's been a good program for us. So the last time it was approved was 2014, September of 2014, and this is just a renewal of the existing joint powers agreement. Susan VREELAND is here. If you have any questions regarding what the program is and what MCCC does, she can answer that for you, but it seems like it's just a nice way for us to continue with this program that's been helpful to the county in the past and probably will be in the future.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Any comments that you wanted to add, Susan?
I could, Madam Chair,
Okay.
members of the board, Commissioner Gamache, good morning. I'm Susan VREELAND, the Director of Information Technology. Commissioner Gamache, I think you hit it right on the head. This has been a partnership that's been 16 plus years in the making. We've benefited with a number of systems, partnerships and applications that to go to outside of the consortium to acquire would be a significant increase in dollars and probably a lot more confusion and work on part of the county. So I foresee many opportunities coming in the future. Again, this is just a standard renewal. There's no cost to be a part of the consortium itself. So it's really just continuing that partnership and moving forward into the future with that group.
Okay, thank you very much. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Brassad?
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak?
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja?
Aye.
Commissioner West?
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache?
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte?
Aye.
Commissioner Look?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And Madam Chair, for informational items, we did get an update on Unified Communications Project, not United, it's Unified Communications Project, which is our big phone project. And Susan's here to answer any questions that you might have. If anybody's got anything that they're interested or curious about, she can answer those.
Anyone have any questions? Right.
That's my report. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Gamache. Now we'll move on to Intergovernmental and Community Relations Committee report. Commissioner Brassad.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The committee recommends the county board adopt Resolution 2016 IG-03, resolution accepting funds from the State of Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs for the County Veteran Service Office Enhancement Grant Program. The amount of the contract for fiscal year 2017 is $22,500.
Is there an offer of the resolution?
So moved.
Resolution's been offered. Further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner.
just want to make a quick comment about our CVSO. I'm getting rave reviews at the Association of Minnesota Counties from fellow commissioners from around the state in different counties about what a great job of leading CVSOs that John Kriesel is doing within our office. And not just John, but further people down in his office and what they're doing. It's making a statewide impact for veterans. And it's really a big deal. And I think everyone here should be really proud of that hire, and we make sure we keep telling John what a great job he's doing, because it's not just Anoka County that's being affected. He is really affecting the entire region. And I just thought I'd bring it to the board's attention. It's, people are calling me out at meetings to talk to me about it, and it is a great deal of pride. Thank you.
All right, further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item?
The committee recommends the county board approve contract C0005114 with Park Nicollet Methodist Hospital with an estimated annual revenue of $15,000 for fetal and adult autopsy services.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item?
The committee recommends the county board approve contract C0005188 with Dave Johnson in the amount of $3,825 per month for monitoring and lobbyist services effective September 1st, 2016 through August 31st, 2018.
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner?
I'd just like to comment on the choice for items 3 and 4 here in terms of the respect that these two have down to the state capitol. These are some of the best in the business that are fortunate enough to be able to work with, and when it comes to important projects that we're working on in the county here, these people understand how to get in and make an impact with the legislators, and they just do a fantastic job, so I'm really happy that we're continuing to work with them.
Okay, thank you. Roll call vote.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item?
Basically the same contract, but with Ward Ines Strategies, same amount, same time frame, and I'll move that, Madam Chair.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And Madam Chair, I would like to call the board's attention to informational item number 6. The IG committee has been busy already, and we're working on the 2017 Anoka County Legislative Platform. And I've asked Karen Skepper to come up and talk about our timeline and where things are standing right now.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, my name is Karen Skepper. I'm the Director of Community and Government Relations. I'll talk a little bit today about actually items 5, 6, and 7. Number 5 is a kickoff to preparing our potential legislators for understanding what it is that's important to Anoka County. We've traditionally had briefing sessions set up. We've taken a look at your calendars. We've selected 2 dates near the end of September. September 23rd from 9 until 11, we'll hold a briefing. And September 30th from 1 to 3. These times have been marked out on your calendars. We'll be sending invitations to everyone who has filed for a legislative office or a commissioner office. And we'll bring through the department heads, and we'll have an opportunity to talk about how Anoka County works and the things that are very important to us. That's one of the very first steps in preparing people who may be our future legislators so they can help us with our platform. Item number 6 is our actual proposed schedule for the legislative session. It's time to get departments thinking about the legislative session already. I know it's been a rocky summer. We've just learned that a special session is not going to happen. So we have to start thinking about the future. The session will start, it's kind of an interesting way they do this. It's the first Tuesday after the first Monday in January. It's kind of like the Easter falling the first Sunday after the first full moon after the Ides of March. So working backwards from that January 3rd start date of the session, in September and October, you may start to see legislative items coming through your committees. We'll ask that by mid-October, all of the departments have their proposed legislative platform items to me so we can start honing through them. We'll have an IG meeting in October. It'll be a different date than our traditional date for IG meetings because we won't have everybody here that day. We'll do some revising and editing, and then we're expecting that at one of the November board meetings, we'll bring it back to you for the approval process. Then we'll be ready to go. We'll schedule a delegation workshop. We'll try not to schedule it on a day when there's meetings at the Capitol. I'll work with both Ward and Dave to try to figure out the best way to get the biggest amount of attendance. And then we're off and rocking on January 3rd of 2017 with the session starting. The other, item number 7 here, our next IG meeting is scheduled for September 15th. I noted that that is one of the dates of the AMC legislative policy, the policy meetings. I will work with Commissioner Brasted to determine whether or not that date should be changed.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments for Karen?
Madam Chair, just a quick question for Karen. Have we ever done the election where the candidate briefings, have we ever reached out to cities? And I know that we have a limited amount of space and we have a lot of cities in need of all these council members and things like that. But, we've had a couple times where we've gone before, as commissioners, gone before city councils to discuss certain things that the county has on our agenda at the Capitol and what we would like to see. And I don't know if it would help maybe make that a little bit easier if we had some early contact with future elected officials before they get elected, or if that would be just too much, I'm not sure.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Gamache, in my working with this department, we have not done that, but I'm always open to suggestions.
Yeah. And again, it might be a logistics thing. It might just be too many people. But I just was thinking, that thought came across my mind. Thanks.
And Commissioner Gamache, I think one of the opportunities that we try to encourage people as soon as they're elected, especially at the city level, an invitation is sent to them for the local government officials meeting, encouraging them to attend. And we always discuss our legislative platform there as well. Sometimes when you're running for the first time, it can be a little overwhelming. And so sometimes so much information, if you give it ahead of time, isn't necessarily always retained.
Mm-hmm.
Once people are actually elected, then they're really more focused on what it is that they need to pay attention to. But certainly an opportunity. Right. Thank you very much.
With that concludes my report.
Okay, now we'll move on to Property Records and Taxation Committee report. Commissioner Kordiak.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My first answer is that the items are for information purposes only. The first one, I can't help but recall that we were asked to take a second look at a determination to deny an abatement request. And that's the purpose of that committee and the purpose of your role. We see, there is a committee which I manage that we look at each of these requests that come along with people basically didn't pay their taxes on time. You have, under policy, a 7-point threshold of what you allow and what you cannot. We take it very seriously, and a committee that I help to manage makes those determinations along the way. Some prevail and many do, and some do not. You always hear troubling, interesting stories. You're listening many times to good citizens, people who just somehow or other read, but life is a curious path, and so I just understand that this is one of them, that the committee that reviewed that, the full committee, made a determination once again to support the earlier decision. So I just point out that we take it seriously. You see all the outcomes, and hopefully you're satisfied with our determination for the most part. The other item is regarding the primary election results, which was interesting discussions. Obviously, I think the move to August primaries was not been good for the election process results. The turnout is always rather low. You've seen that. But obviously, there's winners and losers, and just see the game in the names. That concludes my report, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Kordiak. Now we'll move on to Public Safety Committee report. Commissioner Brasted.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The committee recommends the county board adopt Resolution 2016-PS09, accepting dedicated donation from Lake George Conservative Club in the amount of $200 to support the CAST, which is the Community and Sheriff Together program.
Is there an offer of the resolution?
I'll offer that.
Resolution's been offered by Commissioner Brasted. Further discussion.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Schulte.
just a clarification. The headline said conservative club, but back in the documents further, it does refer to it as a conservation club.
Yep.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you.
A fun event that the sheriff and the community do together, so we really appreciate that.
Okay, and roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brasted.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak. Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
The committee recommends the county board adopt Resolution 2016-PS10, approving the participation in the Minnesota Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force, Multi-Agency Law Enforcement Joint Powers Agreement.
Is there an offer of the resolution?
I'll offer it.
Resolution's been offered. Further discussion. Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brasted.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
The committee recommends the county board adopt Resolution 2016-PS11, approving participation in the 2017 Toward Zero Deaths Enforcement Grant.
Is there an offer of the resolution?
I'll offer it.
Resolution's been offered by Commissioner Brasted. Further discussion. Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Brasted.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
The committee recommends approval and execution of contract C0005143, the 2017 law enforcement contract with the city of Bethel. The city agrees to pay the county $41,590 for contract services that include but are not limited to 612 hours of annual patrol service and 24-hour call and general services.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion. Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brasted.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
The committee recommends approval and execution of contract 2013-0288A, C0001451A, amendment number 1 to purchase of service agreement with Keefe Commissary Network, that they provide the inmate commissary services at the Anoka County Jail facility for an additional 3-year term.
Is there a motion to approve?
Move.
It's been moved by Commissioner Kordiak. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Schulte. Further discussion. Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brasted.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye. Motion carries.
Madam Chair, I would just like to recognize that we have Chief Deputy Kevin Helwig in the audience today, representing the Sheriff's Office. He's, I think this is your first county board meeting since your new position, isn't it?
Welcome.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, yes, Kevin Howling, now the Chief Deputy for the past 2 weeks, and yes, my first meeting as the Chief Deputy here. So, thank you for the recognition, and I look forward to working more closely in the future years.
We definitely look forward to working with you, and thank you for your service.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, just
Yes.
If I call you Commander, just, slap me. Might take me a while.
Commissioner, I've heard it a few times in the past couple of weeks, and it works just fine for me.
Well, thank you.
All right, thank you.
That concludes my report.
Now we'll move on to the additional agenda items for the county board, and they're recommended from the management committee. So Commissioner West.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first item is 2 new positions in the County Attorney's Office contingent upon Minnesota Office of Justice Programs Crime Victim Services Prosecutorial Grant. And the positions are 1 FTE Victim Witness Specialist Grade 12 and a 1 FTE Legal Secretary 1 Grade 9. And I am happy to announce that that grant has been awarded in the amount of $139,514 for general crime victim services. And these positions are very essential because, once you have been a victim of a crime, it's very hard to deal with what happens through the trial period. And this provides services for these people to make it through that experience. So I recommend this. I'd like to move it, actually.
Okay, so it's items 1A have been moved by Commissioner West. Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion?
Madam Chair, I did want to mention that this grant is for a 5-year period, but they will be filing quarterly reports to just keep it coming. And we have good staff, and I know that it's going to be good for us.
All right, thank you. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
The next item is Resolution 2016 M4, and it's authorizing the execution of the Crime Victims Prosecutorial Services Grant Agreement. I'll offer that resolution.
Okay, resolution has been offered by Commissioner West. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Brassad.
Aye.
Commissioner Kordiak.
Aye.
Commissioner Silveraja.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And Madam Chair, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Commissioner West. And the final item is committee appointments. Consider appointing Clinton Maxon to the Emergency Medical Services Council, representing hospitals' emergency preparedness for a 3-year term expiring September 30th, 2019. And I'll move approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. And meeting is adjourned.